Hi there. I'm really excited about reading these poems today. I have been writing more this year, as my father died last year, and it was a catalyst. So the first poem I'm going to read you is about an angel, and it was reflected on the water of my bath, and I don't know where it came from. I've never seen it since. Angel 3. There's an angel in my bath, her great wings wrap around me. She pulls me into her light, I breathe her into my eyes. She sings me a lullaby. I have come to keep the time for you, to let life be slow for you and make it wait. You don't need to count the days. I have to ask her, why do men like to suffer? Why must I make them wait? She whispers, their hearts must be filled with awe. When time was kept by grains of sands and seasons changed by star and moon, men's hearts open in the morning sun. I move my legs and her wings billow. I see my pubic hair below the waterline and sink into the bubbles. Will she fly away? Is she a kindred to the blind shepherd I dreamt of when I was a child, who had mercurial grey eyes and stood in a black and white night? His beautiful ebony face, a thing that I'd rarely seen before. Was he the being who guided me through confusion, who leads me through to who and where when I thought I'd had a choice? This is about a fish of mine that died, and my mother came to visit on the day. It's called the dead fish. This is how you do it. You take the body, lay it down, cover it with a flower. Don't forget to say, poor little thing, poor little sweetie. She took my grief out from my hands so I didn't have to feel for myself. She threw it in the compost bin. There, poor little sweetie. You know, sometimes if you've got hair that does weird things, it's a really good thing. You can use it for all manner of things. So my hair is a bit mental and I never could control it. I don't know if anyone else has got that kind of a hair. Okay, so this job that I've used my hair for is quite interesting. It's called Coiffed to Kill. The wind wreaks havoc with my hair. It is oiled and gelled, but the rain soon has it looking normal. It looks unsure of itself. What is it trying to be? A bob, a quiff, a mohawk, a beehive, short back and sides, a bowl cut. It adjusts itself with every gust. I know what it's up to, but I don't mind. I've lived with it for years. It pays to have this kind of hair. Nobody knows who you are. When you're on the job and you start getting twitchy, the frizz, the curls, the widow's peak, twist and turn relentlessly, even when you're looking deep into a dying man's eyes. This is called Never the Word. Talk bright, words swarm from your mouth, taunting me, stinging my eyes with strange truth. Never the word love. No dreams were broken, no daring hope. Father, you were a spinning man, the parts out of alignment, ever searching, too mad for love. Seeing flashes, silhouettes fractured, you fed me, fragments broken off. Your ruptured soul would call to me, you're lost, here is my love. A burning ember pulled from his heart. I, the child, following his dark path into eternal stasis. I had to have my daddy's love, and he is in the eyes of every man that I meet and says, I'm here, I'm here. Okay. One more about my dear father. It's called My Father Sings in His Coffin. Something crashes downstairs in my house, so I run downstairs. A door slams above. I run up, my eyes wide. I try to open the door, but I know I have locked it and hidden the key from myself. So I try the next door. It usually opens onto my bedroom. I hear a cracking rumble behind me and I spin around. This time, my bedroom has turned into my dead father's memorial chamber. The walls are leaning and swaying. They tear away from the walls. The door slams behind me and the wind chime jingles downstairs. Somebody has entered the house. I try again to enter my bedroom, the chamber, and there he is sat beside his coffin, drinking a can of lager. He says, "Where are your tears?" I can't go until you fill the coffin with them. He flicks his hand at the oak box. The walls fall away from the side of the room. He's moved, and this time he's lying in his coffin, and he's drunk, and he's singing, and he's laughing. Yeah, I was going to say as well, I've been working with some poets in Boscombe in Bournemouth, and there's a really exciting poetry pamphlet there that's come out called Boscombe Revolution. So have a look when you get home if you love poetry, and it is possible that we might be doing a Bristol Revolution and collating lots of Bristol poets and printing a collaborative pamphlet. So keep an eye out for that. It will be some Bristol Revolution, and look for Boscombe Revolution. It's really good. Okay, this is a poem about my horse who also died last year. And it's a very lyrical poem. It's beautiful. It really is a beautiful poem. It's quite tricky to read. It's a bit of a tongue twister, so I'll give it my best go. The moon and the night. A black bank of trees leans against a turquoise sky. Grey, casting into tawny shadows. The last of the light shimmers in my eyes, making riddles of the early night. A shy moon shines beneath the skylight. Its light curves, illuminating cloud. Cold permeates, fierce to the bone. A faint buzz of engines echoes across the firs. A fox, no human soul. The night whispers promises to me. A groaning breeze kisses falling leaves. I kneel as the moon breaks. I try to touch the broken moon, to take it into me. The past and the future are woven into her light. I thought I'd been forsaken, but the night calls me here again. With her black eyes and hidden glory, she reaches into me and leaves her seed, and I am hers. Thank you very much. This is a Sunday morning poem, you know, like when it's about separation basically. So, but Sunday mornings are quite romantic, ideally, and sometimes not so romantic. It's called Sunday Morning Words. This room isn't meant to be blue. It's meant to be any colour except horsetail loose in a winter-changeable sky. At night, it closes in on me, presses my temples. The bed drips dark matter. Fallen stars, navy shadows grind as lust seeps from the walls. The sheets heave and cough a wary breath. Sleep is a temptress who is always out of reach. And then, your cold machinery presses into me. Your arms move me into position and clamp me tight. Ants begin to run up my legs and my skin feels suddenly greasy. I freeze. Inhaled by you, I no longer exist. My empty nightshirt lies on the bed, and as you absorb me, you become thinner and thinner. Okay, this is about obsession. I don't know if you've ever had obsessive love, when two people just can't let go, and it's called The Door. The polite way to shut a door is quietly. Go nicely, princess, run along and don't make a fuss. Actually, the door in question is decorated on my side with seagull wings and bras. I had tried to imagine angel wings and rose-scented petals, but all I could conjure was seagull pinions and bra cups smelling of persil. I shaped them into spirals. I spent a happy year practicing this simple art. I know I shouldn't. I love to walk past the open door and look in at him. I pretend to be heard turning my head his way. Sometimes it seems as though he looks at me and even smiles. I know this is foolish because it's all in my head. The poem, the door, even him in his room. But perhaps he is just a step away, so if I keep on trying to see if this time he is... Back I come stupefied and the whole process starts again. But I have learned to play this game. I have found the one way out, the one escape. Instead of waiting to see if he will shut the door, I will shut the door from my side and lock it, and I'm going to hide that bloody key from myself. He won't even notice. I will be silent like a stealthy child, creeping away from the horror scene at night, terrified in the darkness. My hands feeling the sharp corners of the wooden door, easy, easy, slowly pulling millimetre by millimetre until the quiet click. Thank you very much. I've got three more to read. This one is about what you do with your sexuality sometimes. You know, it's just there. You just don't know what to do with it, because you don't always have something to do with it. It's called sports car version. My phone rings. I'm lying on my bed naked, half wrapped in a bath towel, and I pause. This intruder won't actually see me in my languorous recline, warm, spilling out of my flannel guard. I brush my toes against the cotton sheets and a ripple moves up my legs and fizzes between my thighs. It's a man on the phone, a yes or no response. My stomach pulses, I press the receive button. It seems like an ordinary conversation. My hand slides along my soft skin and opens my towel. My nipples react to the sudden change in temperature. I enjoy the feeling of power. He doesn't know about my subversion. Absent-mindedly twisting my belly ring, I wonder, how is it that men know when to call and catch me naked on my bed? What kind of radar do they have? I couldn't resist, the words came out like a revelation. I've just bathed, I'm naked. He likes this piece of news, he sounds excited. He's never seen me naked. I start to describe the room. He tells me about his bed, his physiology. We seem to be locked into a game of dare. It's a strange thing to be a woman, to call like some exotic bird, lost in an alien landscape. I cannot reconcile it to myself. Maybe my libido is like a sports car version. I wake up at night and it purrs to me. In the day it revs relentlessly. Exhaust smoke pours out from the garage and I say to myself, something needs to be done about that. It's confusing, so I wrestle the door shut to contain it, to protect my modesty, and my light goes out in the world. He says goodbye, he has a lot of work to do. I put my earplugs in, cosy under the blanket, but the noise is deafening. I think it's quite funny to read about that in front of people. It's quite revealing, you know, but it's all good. Okay, my normal job, I run a martial arts school, and I teach Tai Chi, Kung Fu and kickboxing, and that's been my job for years. So this is about, it's about that really in a way. Okay, why I became a geisha. It was only half a step away from my real life. I'm a martial artist, I entertain and enthrall with my beauty and technique of movement. I have at all times to be polite and interested, yet hold true to my inner self. I'm a woman of art, just like a geisha. So when I put on the mask, but underneath I'm nobody, there lies an empty space. And where there should be my sexuality, there is a thin strand of silk. If you pluck the strand, it makes one single note that sounds like a voice, a bell, and the wind. The harder you pluck, the more violent the noise, and then starts the singing. So you cannot relax with me, because the closer you get, the louder the cacophony. The chorus rumbles, turns into thunder, and before we know it, we both begin the juddering. We put our hands over our ears, and I have to beg you to stop before we are shaken off from the edge of the well, or my face starts to crack and you finally see that all I am is a mask and a strand of silk. This is the last one. You know, like seagulls generally don't get a very good press, do they? They're a bit annoying and a bit naughty sometimes. But I saw a really good one last year when it was freezing cold, and I was watching it, and it was so cold that my eyes were weeping. This girl was just something else. I've never seen one like it, and I thought that deserves a poem. Okay, The Way Seagulls Fly. The squall of a bird was falling. It was like a seagull, but nothing like any that I've seen before. Blown like a dishcloth, bish bosh into the wind. I wanted to scream and shout, "It's like my life too, you know!" But all was silent, except for the sound of the balmy soughing in the pines. Burned my eyes, but I had to stare. Descending into a Burned my eyes, but I had to stare. Descending into a cubanate, blind to its shame. It was a crazy bird! Body loose, lonely bones, fleeing their centre, distorting themselves. It climbed the vertical axis, decelerated and stalled, dropping through the grey. Pulling up, folding into a whiffadil turn before it rolled forward. Water streamed down my face and I wondered, do seagulls cry? Thank you very much. Thank you, really enjoyed reading to you. So I'm Sarer Brisfest, so I'll be around Bristol and I'm developing, and yeah, thank you very much. Bye bye.